Hi everyone, it's David here. So I've just finished leading a walking weekend along the Jurassic Coast. So on Saturday we went to Durdledore, Lulworth Cove, and all the way to Ringstead Bay, and all of the beautiful scenery around that part of the world. And the following day, on Sunday, we went to the Isle of Portland, which is where I am at the moment. Now the Isle of Portland has a lot of fascinating history to it. So I thought I'd talk to you a little bit about that today as I go through this gate. So where I started off just now, that was the Grove Prison. I suppose the thing that interested me was the prisoner history of the island, because it's quite unique. You're going on a lovely walk along the southwest coast path in an island surrounded by the sea, beaches, beautiful paths like this, and then you suddenly find yourself right next to a prison, you know, and there's signs up saying there's CCTV and dog handlers everywhere, we're watching you, and fly your drone near here, you could get 2 years in prison because you've got people flying in drugs and all that sort of thing. And it's like, whoa, you know, I'm just trying to enjoy the countryside here, please don't arrest me. But yeah, they're doing their job, and I passed a few of the guards just now walking about here, and all very friendly, cheerful people. Gave me a smile, we said hello. So yeah, but the history of the island. So you might wonder, are the prisoners are they a bit annoying for the islanders that live here? You know, they've got all these people who've been locked up on their doorstep. They get out on day release occasionally from there's two prisons here. So the young offenders one I've just come from, they get out on day release occasionally. But the islanders, actually, the prisoners came here to help them. So I will explain. The Isle of Portland is subject to really terrible weather because it sticks out in the English Channel, and it's got the sea on three sides, and some of it is really quite low-lying, and you've got bad storms. So there was something called the Great Storm of 1828, where 30 people died in Chiswell, Fortunestown and Castletown, which are at the bottom of the hill just as you come into the island. So you know, government wanted to do something about that, so they sent a load of convicts here to build Portland Harbour, which is in front of me right now. Not sure if you can really see it through this. If I zoom in, you can just about see it in the distance there. Back to me. So Portland Harbour was constructed from 1849 onwards, and the foundation stone was laid by Prince Albert. However, the people doing the real work were convicts. The convicts arrived here in 1848, and they built what is now H&P The Grove, Portland Prison, the Young Offenders Institute, where I've just come from, where the video started. I was outside the wall of it. They had to build their own cells, and then they had to start quarrying the famous Portland stone to build Portland Harbour, which is now one of the largest man-made harbours in the world. So when they were doing this, they were quarrying more than 1,500 tonnes of Portland stone per day. And this island is notoriously windy. The waves around the ocean here notoriously large, so there were lots of shipwrecks over the years. So there are convicts here, but they helped the islanders. They put the work in to stop them from being killed and injured when they're out fishing, when they're out seafaring, and when they were just going about their daily business on the island, because there were lots of floods and all that sort of thing. And the breakwater barriers that make up Portland Harbour, which were built by the convicts, have now stopped all of the flooding, and they've stopped all of, you know, the worst effects of the storms. So the prisoners actually did a great job for the islanders. They were really helpful. Which brings me on to the next topic of the video. Portland stone is quite famous, and it's famous because of Sir Christopher Wren. Now, Sir Christopher Wren used Portland stone to build loads of the City of London after the Great Fire of London in 1666. So he built St Paul's Cathedral as well as 52 churches with this Portland stone, which came from this island, and they still quarry it on the island to this day. There are now 2 prisons. There's the original one, the Grove, H&P the Grove, which is for young adults, and then there's another one, H&P the Verne, which is nearer to the mainland, and that one is a house within the former citadel that was constructed to defend the island from foreign invasion. So it houses, let's say, SOs. Notable inmates include Gary Glitter, so that should tell you all you need to know about the sort of people who are there at the moment. Whereas the young offenders one is more normal prisoners. Roy Chubby Brown, the comedian, was there when he was a youngster because he had quite a troubled upbringing. And yeah, I was here yesterday and I found something called the Jailhouse Diner, and that's lovely, and it's kind of fits with the heritage of the island. I say island, the only thing connecting it to the mainland is Chesil Beach. The only natural thing, I mean, there is a bridge, so you can drive here. Yeah, anyway, the Jailhouse Diner work with prisoners on day release, and it teaches them skills and it trains them up for their release so that when they get out they can rejoin the world of work. So I went there yesterday. I had some pancakes and some apple pie, and it's delicious, and it's nice to know that you're supporting a good cause while you're there. So I think I might go back there today. Now on to a bit more history about the island. I'm walking along the southwest coastal path right now, by the way. The island is connected to the mainland by Chesil Beach, which is 13 miles long, and it's a natural wonder really, but one of the popular things to mention about it is the song Echo Beach by, the famous Echo Beach, right? I can't remember the name of the band, but yeah, that they used for the UK version. They used a sort of map of Chesil Beach on the cover of the record. So I'll try and get down there later and do some footage from there. What you're looking at here is the Isle of Portland, and on the other side of the Isle of Portland you can see Chesil Beach. Now, Chesil Beach is 13 miles long, as I just said. It's also 200 metres wide and 15 metres high. It was formed at the end of the last ice age, when huge waves gathered up rocks from the seabed, and the rocks had been deposited on the seabed by glacial movements, and the waves then threw the rocks back towards the shore, where they then became what is now Chesil Beach. Right, so now I'm walking down towards Church Ope Cove, which is further south in the Isle of Portland, getting towards its most southerly point, which is Portland Bill. I'm just passing through the arch now for Rufus Castle, which is privately owned but goes back many centuries. Perched above Church Ope Cove are the ruins of Rufus Castle, not to be confused with its younger, more glamorous neighbour, Pennsylvania Castle. Rufus Castle gets its name from King William II, known as William Rufus, son of William the Conqueror, who the original castle was reportedly built for. Any remains from this period are thought to exist only at the foundation level or to have been lost to cliff erosion. The castle was rebuilt between 1432 and 1460 by Richard, 3rd Duke of York, and much of what remains today dates from this period. The castle later became part of the estate of Pennsylvania Castle. Pennsylvania Castle was built in the Gothic Revival style between 1797 and 1800 for Governor of Portland John Penn. John Penn was the grandson of William Penn, founder of Pennsylvania, and he turned what was left of Rufus Castle into a picturesque folly. He erected a bridge over the lane leading to Church Ope and formed two large openings with rounded arches in the walls of the castle. Pennsylvania Castle was used by Winston Churchill, General Eisenhower and Charles de Gaulle to plan the Normandy landings during World War II. It was sold for £4 million in 2011. Today it's used as a luxury events and holiday venue, and it looks very lovely. And from here I'll be going down a little path down the side of the cliff to a beach. Now these little pathways are known locally as Opes, that's O-P-E, and it's kind of cut into the overgrowth and the bushes and the brambles and the trees that make up the cliffs of the island. So they've got little lizards as well. Let me see if I can get this one. Look at that. What? It's right there. Goodness me, I didn't expect that. There's another one there. Look. See? Wow. Huh. And that one's still hanging about. Oh, he's jumped off into the grass. Wow. Really didn't expect to see that. I did see a few during the walk on... Have I zoomed in somehow? Yes, I've zoomed in. There we are, back to normal. So I did see a few when I was coming down here during the walk on Sunday. But I didn't think I'd be lucky enough to get them on camera, because when I was doing this on Sunday, you'd see them and they were very timid. They'd immediately dart into the grass and you'd never see them again. Anyway, what was I saying? This path, so you can see it's not that steep, because they've adapted it for walkers like me. But you can see the cliffside. It's pretty big, and originally this path would have been cut into the side of the cliff and into the brambles, etc., for the purpose of smuggling, which was very popular in the 1800s. Britain was a global power at that time with the empire, so you had people smuggling booze, where all parts of the world, tea, etc., tobacco, all that sort of stuff. And they didn't want to pay any tax on it, so they'd smuggle it through little paths like this that take you down to the beach. They get a little boat down to the shore, come down through paths like this, offload their contraband and take it back up to the island. Sometimes they'd store away their loot in little caves around the island before they can sell it on to go to other parts of the country. Now there's a bit of folklore on the island, and I don't want to scare anyone, but it's a creature known as the Roy Dog. Now this creature is a giant dog, really big, massive, menacing, sharp teeth, and he's got one red eye, and he's got one green eye. He lurks in a cave near the beaches around the south of the island. He lurks there, and what he will do if you get too close to him is he'll eat you up. And then the eyes of his victims. There's a person coming this way, I'll turn around. The eyes of his victims will appear in his fur. So his fur is covered in blue eyes, green eyes, brown eyes, all different colours and shades. And he haunts the caves and the passing seafarers and islanders and people just going about their business. And if you get too close, he'll eat you up. And the sculpture of this fearsome creature is included in a very nice sculpture park in the north of the island, closer towards civilization. As I was doing the walk on Sunday, I bumped into the guy who made it. He was telling me the folklore. Well, he thinks it's a load of nonsense. He thinks that it was made up by smugglers to keep the locals away from their loot, so that you know, they wouldn't be stealing it and drinking it all. So he thinks it's made up. But he was telling me all about how he created it. He's a professional sculptor, and he has done a fantastic job on that. And he made it with, guess what, Portland stone. So it's there we go, nice backdrop there. So he's made it with Portland stone, and he's really thought about it as well, because the sharp teeth of the beast, he's made them with Portland memorial stone, which is a higher class of Portland stone, because it's for people's gravestones. And you can really tell the difference. he's really brought those teeth out to make it look really menacing for people walking around the sculpture park. So I definitely recommend going there. And there's Church Ope Cove, where all of the smuggling happened. So yeah, those are the main bits of history from this part of the island. I'm going to have a look now, see if I can get down to Church Ope Cove, because my way was blocked just now by a person coming up the other way. I'll see you on the next video. God bless. Bye. So if you made it this far, thank you very much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to be making a few videos like this for the channel going forwards. So if you've enjoyed it, please do subscribe and hit that notification bell, and you'll get to see when I make my next one. Also, if you could please leave a comment, I'd be very grateful, just to let me know that someone is watching these videos. And also like, that's good too. And also hype, if you could please. Thank you very much.